A very good morning to my all dear student. Once again, you all are most welcome in your Ambuja Public School. And as you know, myself, Rohit Kulsrest, your SST teacher with you. So today in this video, I am going to tell you about a great Rajput king that is Maharana Pratap. You know, Maharana Pratap was one of famous and brave ruler of Mewar. During the time of the Mughals, Rajasthan was divided into many small kingdoms. Each kingdom was ruled by a family of Rajput king. Rajput means son of a king. Maharana Pratap ruled over the kingdom of Mewar, whose kings were given the title Rana or Maharana. You know, Rajasthan was earlier known as Rajputana, the land of Rajputs. So, you know, Maharana Pratap was one of the strongest warriors in India with a height of 7 feet 5 inches. He used to carry 360 kg of weight, which included a spear weighing 80 kg, two swords weighing 208 kg, and his armor was around 72 kg heavy. His own weight was more than 110 kg. While all the other Rajput rulers surrendered to Akbar and became member of his council, Maharana Pratap denied all the 6 diplomatic missions sent to him by Akbar for a peaceful alliance. You know, Pratap Singh was the son of Maharana Uday Singh II and Rani Jainta Bai of Mewar. As a young prince, he was taught how to ride a horse and how to use weapons in battle. When Maharana Pratap was still a young man, the Mughal Emperor Akbar attacked Mewar capital Chittor. The huge Mughal army surrounded the fort. Chittorgarh, Uday Singh moved his family out of the fort. After keeping the fort surrounded for a few years, the Mughals finally captured it. Udaipur, a city Uday Singh had founded earlier, became the new capital of Mewar. In 1567, when Crown Prince Pratap Singh was only 27, Chittor was surrounded by the Mughal force of Emperor Akbar. Maharana Uday Singh II decided to leave Chittor and move his family to Gokunda rather than capitulate to the Mughals. In Gokunda, Maharana Uday Singh II and his nobles set up a temporary government of the kingdom of Mewar. In 1572, the Maharana passed away, leaving the way for Crown Princess Pratap Singh to become the. So after the death of his father, Pratap became the Maharana of Mewar. The battle with the Mughals had made the kingdom weak. The Rajput had even lost Chittor, but many parts of the Mewar were still under Maharana Pratap's control. Some Rajput kings had accepted Akbar as their ruler. They were allowed to keep their kingdom but had to pay taxes to the Mughal emperor. They also had to support the Mughals during wars. Akbar wanted Maharana Pratap to come under his control, but the brave Rajput king decided to fight to keep his kingdom free from Akbar's control. Even with an army of 22,000 against the Mughal army of 18,000, Maharana Pratap bravely fought the Haldi Ghati battle. While he lost the war due to treachery by his brother, but he fought till the end. While sensing Rajput army defeat, Jhalaman, who had a close resemblance to Maharana Pratap, wore the crown of Maharana Pratap to give discretion to the Mughal army. He was later killed. Pratap Singh had just become the Maharana of Mewar and he had not been back Chittor since 1567. His old fort and his home backbone to him, the pain of his father's death and the fact that his father had not been able to see Chittor again troubled the young Maharana deeply. But he was not only the one troubled at this time. Then Maharana Pratap was determined to recapture Chittor again. He knew it would not be easy. He did not have enough money to take care of his soldier, as Mewar wealth had already been spent in fighting wars against the Mughals. But he did not lose hope. He hoped that he would not live a life of comfort until he had won back Chittor. He ate on leaf plates, slept on a bed of straw, and lived in a mud hut like his soldier. The Rajput soldiers were loyal to their king. The Bhil tribals who lived in the Aravalli hills around Mewar were very good archers. You know what is the means of the archers? Archers, a person who shoot arrow with a bow. They also helped the Maharana in his fight against the Mughals. In 1576, the famous Battle of Haldighati was fought with 20,000 Rajput against a Mughal army of 80,000 men commanded by Raja Man Singh. The battle was fierce, though indescribable to the Mughal army estimates. Even, with an army of 22,000 against the Mughal army of 80,000, Maharana Pratap bravely fought the Haldighati battle. While he lost the war due to the treachery by his brother, but he fought till the end. And Maharana Pratap refused to accept Mughal control. Akbar sent a huge army to fight him. There was a battle of Haldighati. The small but brave Rajput army fought against the much larger army of the Mughals. When the Rajputs saw that they could not defeat the Mughals, they decided to save their king instead. Maharana Pratap escaped on his horse Chetak. Chetak was wounded in battle and died soon, but not before he had carried his master to safety. He is still remembered for his bravery and loyalty. Maharana Pratap army was not defeated, but Maharana Pratap was surrounded by Mughal soldiers. It is said that at this point, his estranged brother Sakti Singh appeared and saved the Rana life. Another casualty of this war was Maharana Pratap's famous and loyal horse. As we earlier discussed, Chetak, who gave up his life trying to save his Maharana. Maharana Pratap horse Chetak is known for his loyalty to his master. The horse is said to have a tinge of blue on his coat. Chetak lost his life while jumping across a 21 feet wide river to save his master's life. It is said that this time one of his minister Bhamasa came and offered him all this wealth, a sum enabling Maharana Pratap to support an army of 25,000 for 12 years. It is said that before this generous gift from Bhamasa, Maharana Pratap aghast at the state of his subject. His people was beginning to lose his spirit in fighting Akbar. The now famous letter led to Pratap reversing his decision and not submitting to the Mughals, as was his initial but reluctant intention. After 1587, Akbar realized his obsessive pursuit of Maharana Pratap and took his battle into Punjab and India's northwest frontier. Maharana Pratap became a patron of the arts during his reign. Padmavat, Charit, and the poem of Dursha Abada were written. Places at Ubheshwar, Kamalnath, and the Chavan bear testimony of his love of his architecture. That at last, in January 1597, Rana Pratap Singh was Mewar's greatest hero, was seriously injured in a hunting accident. He left his body at Chavan, aged 56, on January 29, 1597. So, as you know, after the Battle of Haldighati, Maharana Pratap lived in a forest of the Aravalli hills. He prepared his soldier to fight again. from the hill. He attacked the Mughals many times. He was able to win back most of his kingdom, but not Chittor. Then Maharana Pratap died after he was hurt in hunting accident, though his dream of recapturing Chittor remained unfulfilled. Stories of his bravery are still told. He died fighting for his nation, for his people, and most important, for his honor. So, at the last, I am going to summarize the lesson of Maharana Pratap with the great story of Maharana Pratap. So, now I am going to explain his full life in my own word. So, please listen very carefully. Maharana Pratap was one of the greatest patriots of our country. He was not only the pride and glory of Rajasthan, but also of the whole country. He was the ruler of Mewar. He was the son of Rana Uday Singh and the grandson of great Rana Sanga. Rana was a great warrior, a brave Rajput and true patriot. Maharana Pratap was undoubtedly the bravest soldier of his time. He never feared of death. He fought bravely against the mighty army of Mughals. He stood firm like a rock in the midst of all dangers. He had a high sense of self-respect. It was his love for the country that he fought against the mighty Mughal Empire. He sacrificed everything for the freedom of his motherland. He never surrendered his freedom in the hand of Akbar. The life of Rana Pratap was a long story of suffering and difficulties. He was completely defeated in the Battle of Haldighati. He had to take refuge in the Aravalli hills with his family and some of his followers. He passed a very hard life there. He wandered from place in the hill. He had to sleep on the ground and eat wild fruit, leaves, and the roots of the tree. Some he and the members of his family had to go without food. But Rana remained firm in the midst of all these trouble. After the death of his father, Rana Pratap ascended the throne. He took a vow to take Chittor back from Akbar. Once Man Singh wanted Rana take food with him, but Rana Pratap refused to take meal with him. This made Man Singh angry. Man Singh told Akbar to attack. Then Rana Pratap heard of the invention. He went with his family to Haldighati. There the Rajput and Mughals fought a hand-to-hand fight. Rana Pratap led his army. He wore the royal helmet. He was mounted on his famous horse Chetak. Yes, he scattered the Mughal army. He attacked Salim, who was sitting on his elephant. Such fearlessness and heroism had never been seen. Even his enemies praised him. Soon, of the tide of the battle turned. The Rajput were defeated. Rana's life was in great danger. A Shishodia chief saw this. He exchanged his helmet with that of the Rana. The Mughals took the chief to be Rana. He was surrounded by the enemies while Pratap escaped. In fact, he never wanted to that. He had to do so against his will. Rana Pratap had to go to the Aravalli hills. He remained there with his family and some faithful Rajput. Here, Rana suffered many difficulties. Sometimes he did not get meal for his children, but he did not surrender. With the help of Bhama Shah, Rana reorganized his troops and won back a part of his kingdom. So every Indian feel proud of Rana Pratap. Every nation would be proud of producing a son like Rana Pratap. He is cheers even today as one of the greatest sons of India by historians and laymen alike. He will always be remembered as a national hero. And that is a very good thought of the Rana Pratap. The true human is one who bows down to even weakest of nobles and being strongest of tyrants bow down. So, hope so, with the help of this explanation, you all are able to understand about the Maharana Pratap and his great and the bravery work. So, this is the full up. So, thank you and have a nice day, class.